Hello everyone, Luke here. Welcome back to my MyTeam series. It is round 13 of Season 1, the Hungarian Grand Prix, where hopefully we can have a much better result than last time around at Silverstone. At my home race of the season, I could only finish in 15th, my second worst result of the season. Only the season opener went worse. Nick de Vries, my new teammate, finished in 19th position in his first race, or managed to beat both of the Williams, pretty much the bare minimum I expect. So I'm now 9th in the championship on 36 points. As you can see, it's getting really close in that midfield section, and the team are staying in 7th position. So hopefully we can carry on our good form from before Silverstone. Hopefully we can regain that now at Hungary. Let's see how we do in qualifying then. Possibly one of the most important sessions of the year qualifying wise, maybe alongside Monaco. Need to put a good performance in here to try and get the best possible starting position, because it is incredibly difficult to overtake around this circuit. Really only the first two corners providing any real opportunity. Getting higher on the grid than we did in Silverstone is essential then. It doesn't look like we're doing too bad so far through the first sector, but judging by practice, that was definitely my strongest part of the circuit. Tended to struggle more in this middle part. That's despite having our first major car upgrade of the season come through, so we should have a lot more downforce than we've had in previous races, which is definitely going to be needed around here. And it doesn't look like we're doing too bad so far, just getting a bit too much curve through that corner, just outside of the top 10. That's not a disaster, because you wouldn't get free tyre choice if I stay around here. I don't think the soft tyres last too long, so I'm not sure if I'll be using them in the race or not. As we head around the final corner, coming up towards the finish line, DRS open, 14th position, drop down then, just at the end. But after the way Silverstone went, when we really were struggling amongst the back markers, pretty happy with that.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Bottas, Hamilton and Alexander Albon. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
So Nick in 21st, it does seem to be that no matter which teammate you get, they will struggle. Lando Norris, our rival, qualified 10th, so he'll have a bit of a boost in the rivalry. But I feel with the fresh tyres on in that first stint, we might be able to work our way up and hopefully get back into the points.
It's race day in Budapest as we get ready for another round of the Formula One World Championship. We don't expect too many retirements at this track. There are plenty of current and former drivers with flawless finish rates here. In particular, Ralf Schumacher. He made it across the line in all 10 of his Hungarian Grand Prix starts. 14 corners then for our drivers to navigate at the 2.7-mile Hungaro ring today. It's 6 lefts and 8 rights around a lap here, with average speeds in the region of 120 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Now I want to ask you about Lewis Hamilton. That was a great win for him. Can they keep that momentum going this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Albon, Verstappen, Sebastian Vettel and Sainz, Ricciardo, Stroll, Norris and Charles Leclerc, Kvyat, Gasly, Sergio Perez and the owner driver, Ocon, Giovinazzi, Kevin Magnussen and Kimi Raikkonen, Grosjean, Russell, Latifi and Nick de Vries. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
So Nick has a grid penalty, so that puts him at the back of the grid, and to be honest, by the end of the season, it wouldn't surprise me if I've picked up a couple of penalties. We do seem to be struggling a bit on the components, but let's not worry about that for now. Let's just try and get the best result possible here. 14th on the grid, going for the one-stop strategy, as you can see. 16 laps on the mediums, 19 on the hard tyres. It is very difficult to overtake around here, so that should give us track position when some of the guys ahead come in for their second stop, and hopefully that'll boost us up a few places and get us back into finishing in that top 10 where we get the points, and let's not forget we get that nice bonus off our sponsors. Start lines didn't stay on for long at all, but we are underway. Then pretty good start from ourselves, I must say. I've got a warning for a collision with Gasly. I tried to bump draft him down the straights, but here we go. Good move already on Lando Norris. We've got 4 cars in the space of 1 corner there. Now it's just about staying nice and steady through turn 2. Don't make a mistake, as Norris and Kvyat will have a lot more grip than me at this point in the race, so it's crucial that I just keep them behind for as long as possible. And you can see Norris is all over the place behind me, trying to get that move back. He already tries to work his way back up ahead of me. He's our rival, let's not forget, so imperative that I try and keep him behind as much as possible, and this will really help us later on in the race if Norris and Kvyat, after starting ahead of us on the softer tyres, and they have to stay behind us. So not a bad start, just taking it pretty careful for now, trying to make sure I stay within that 1 second window though to Charles Leclerc up ahead in 9th position, to make sure that at the end of lap 2 we can start to use that drag reduction system to defend from these guys. I said it's not the easiest circuit to overtake on, not too bad on the way down to turn 1 if you have got that DRS assistance. In fact, Norris, even without it, looking very speedy down the straight. I might have to go slightly defensive here. He's got that inside line. I'm much later on the brakes than him. Can I hold it off all the way around the outside? I've just gone over the curb slightly, and now Norris has got that position back, and now Kvyat's looking for a move as I go very deep, and that's probably going to allow Kvyat to get that position as well. So probably should have just thought about that a bit more and let Norris take that place once I realised he got a better exit than me, because now, as you can see, much quicker.
Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy.
Almost getting into the back of him. Just need to calm it down now. We're down to 12. We had a very good start. See if I can just stay in touch with those guys that have repassed me. We are already starting to see a few pit stops from those that started on the soft tyres, thankfully. Kvyat and Albon have come in, so that's promoted us probably briefly up into 10th position, and I'm sure we'll gain a few more places when the rest of the soft shod cars come in. Not really been catching up to them, not really been pulling away from Ocon either. The gaps staying very stubborn. Ocon always hovering around half a second to 1 second, so hopefully we can maybe start pulling away from him and catching up to the rest of the guys. We're still on the soft tyres. Now that everyone that has started on the soft tyres has pitted, we are actually into the lead of the race. Ocon still behind us, Bottas just coming out ahead of Gasly. Now I'm hoping that everyone who has pitted on the soft tyres starts to get held up in traffic, as I've said a few times, very difficult to overtake around this circuit. This is a chance for me just to stay calm, try and set a comfortable pace. We've still got a good few laps before I'm coming into the pits. See how long we can hold some of these quicker guys up for. Ocon behind me is starting to look really racing at this point in the race. He's having to defend though from Bottas, who still has been unable to get past him, just because I'm still giving Esteban Ocon DRS down the main straight, so Bottas can't get enough top speed up to get ahead of the Renault car. So it's really frustrating the pair of them, me being at the front of this queue. A bit like what happened in Monaco when I just held everyone up for the last 20 or so laps of the race. I'm going to be in a similar situation now until I pitch, which I think is in about 4 or 5 laps time. Then I'll be on the hard tyres, so at least I know at the end of the race I can do a pretty decent job of holding everyone up. About a third of the way through the race, and I'm still in the lead. Bottas managing to sneak all the way around the outside of me there, so probably compromised my line quite a bit.
Tyre condition
Thankfully,
is
though,
still looking good.
I nearly go straight into the back of him, thankfully. That didn't give me DRS, which I'm now going to need to defend from lock-on after I went extremely deep into turn 1. Obviously not used to having that extra bit of straight line speed. So we are now down into second. Still another couple of laps before we pit. Would be good if we can keep Ocon behind us until the pit stop. And then see where we come out and see where everyone else comes out after they make their second stops. Time then to head into the pits for one of only stop of the race, drifting my way around the pit entry. Just about getting it stopped in time, so this will drop us a long way down the order, and I think we are the first of the medium runners to come in, so as long as we get another good stop from our pit crew, should come out in a similar place after this first run of stops.
Go now.
We have, you can see, just come out again.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit.
Head
You'll receive a
of
penalty for
Esteban
dangerous
Ocon.
driving if you cross over into the track.
We are pretty much in the same place, obviously, where we were right at the start of the race. We have dropped a couple of places. We're now in 14th. We were 12 before the pit stop, so we'll have to see how this works out for us now. Who of these guys will be pitting? I imagine everyone who's on the medium tyres will have the pit again. Norris on the hards, he might
You're a
not have
plus
to,
one lap
so
of extra fuel. Fuel target +1.
we might have to do some on-track overtaking. Thankfully, as Jeff's just said, we have got a bit of spare fuel to use towards the end of this race, but we're now in 14th position. See if we can work our way up a few more places when these guys pit, and obviously get past a few on track as well. We are back up into that 12th place where we were before the pit stops then. Still had Nick De Vries and one of the Alfa Romeos to come in and do their one and only scheduled stop, so we didn't lose anything in that pit stop period, so hopefully, as long as I don't make any mistakes, we should only go up now for the rest of this race. Moving on when a few guys pit, maybe getting ahead of some on track as well. Problem is though, Norris ahead of us has DRS off the back of Kvyat, so that's going to make it really hard to get a move done on him at this moment in time. So hopefully once that Alpha Tauri comes into the pits, it will be a bit easier for us. We might be able to get ourselves up into a top 10 position. That's one car out of the way. Kvyat's coming in for his final pit stop. That moves us up into 11th place, and more importantly, means next time around Norris won't have DRS off the back of the Alpha Tauri, so we need to get very close to the back of this McLaren through the final part of the lap, maybe get a chance of getting up into the points. Not able to get close enough to him through the final corner, which is a shame. See if we can send one on the inside now, too far back. So this is going to be tougher than I expected, and the longer we're stuck behind him, the more I start to wear out my tyres as well. So if he's going to the end, it's going to be very tricky for me to make my way ahead of him. Staying in 11th place for now, there's definitely a few more guys ahead of us who have to head into the pits. Overtake on DRS on rich fuel mode. Can I get down the inside here of Lando Norris into turn 1? Just about making it stick. Need to be careful on exit. DRS open, and there we go. We have moved up a position. Up into 10th place for now. Leclerc, the next man ahead, he's on the hard tyres as well, so he's probably going towards the end of the race. See if I can escape Lando Norris now. I don't actually know if too many more drivers up ahead will be pitting for another set of medium tyres. Hopefully they do, otherwise 10 might be the best we can manage. Lap 29 then of this Hungarian Grand Prix, still 7 laps remaining. I don't seem to be able to drop Lando Norris at this moment in time. I'm not really catching up to those ahead, so just need to make sure I've got enough fuel and ERS at the end to hold off any potential attacks, because I can't seem to be close enough to Albon, Leclerc and everyone else who's in that queue, mainly because a lot of them seem to be getting DRS, and Norris of course as well, he's also getting the DRS off of me, whereas I don't have it, so it's good that I've got that extra fuel just to help me pull away slightly on the straights. Hopefully some of these faster guys though, the tyres might start to drop off because they are at least 3 or 4 laps older than mine. We might still snatch a place or two right at the deck. With 4 laps to go, we are officially in.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Of cars, I think it's Ricardo at the front of it who's in 5th position, and you can see no one able to get any moves done. At least this gives me DRS, which should help me defend from Novice, but with everyone else having it as well, can't see how I'm going to work my way up unless they make a mistake. But I have caught up quite a lot over the last lap or two, so let's see what I can do. Can I get any higher than 10? It's going to be tough. Leclerc was very slow for the final few corners, but obviously because he's got DRS, I just can't catch up to him in the straight. I've gone for a very late move that I wasn't planning to go for. He's still there, still there. Both of us going to have DRS, but I think now that I've got that extra fuel that I saved in the earlier part of the race, I might be able to start making some moves. Leclerc's tyres looked absolutely terrible in the final sector of that lap. I've taken advantage.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Just about to start the final lap.
This is your final lap of the race.
See, I'm too far behind really to have a go at Albon. Very late on the break zone for myself. Sainz is making a move on Ricardo up ahead, so maybe if there's a bit of contact between these guys, we might still gain a place, but no, Sainz through cleanly. That's pretty much it for overtaking opportunities on this lap. I can't think of anywhere else where I'm going to be able to get ahead, as Ricardo's now been passed by Lance Stroll. That Renault is really struggling with grip all of a sudden. I'd expect Albon might try and fancy a way through as well, but I'm not quite sure where he'll be able to do it. You can see just how slow that Renault is. Those 2 cars ahead absolutely escaped.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Might still be a chance here to out-drag someone around the final corner. We'll see if Albon goes for a move. No, he has gone for it down the inside. Can I go for a late move on Ricardo? Sort of bumped my way through there, knocked him down the place, but that's what you need to do on the final lap.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Slimmest of margins, and I took it, and that got promoted up into 8th position, and I get driver of the day for that, which is quite nice around here. I was always going to go for it on that final lap, really. Especially once I saw how much Ricardo was struggling for his tyres. I mean, at the chicane, I nearly crashed into the back of Albon because he was having to slow down so much.
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend.
Again. He's so far clear of the championship now. Surely he's going to win it. Good for us to get some points back on the board as well. Such a shame at the start when we managed to get up to 10th. We fell back behind Kvyat and Norris, because maybe if we'd have held those guys up as well, who knows what could have started to happen at the end of the race. But did get our best finish for a couple of races, really. 8th position, can't complain too much about that.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the driver's standings. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
I'm going to give it to the owner-driver today. They fought so hard and had incredible pace at times, so I don't think anyone else did a better job today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So we've stayed in the same place in the Constructors on 43 points, and in the Drivers as well, although we have overtaken Ocon and Perez and dropped behind Sainz and Stroll, so it's still extremely close. That 7th to 12th position at the moment, although Sainz does seem to be getting away ever so slightly. You can see we finished 8th. Ricardo Literally got bumped down to 9th by my, well 10th, sorry, by myself at the end, but we got ourselves 4 points, and Nick, unfortunately, in last position. I think it's just the way this career mode is set up that your teammate always seems to struggle, but oh well, we'll have to make the car better for them if we want to get them any points, and for ourselves, I think, because we will start to struggle, and I am finding it harder in these races now. I feel like if it'd been easier for overtaking, Ocon might have got ahead of me in the early stages as well, and Bottas definitely would have got past quicker, but let's see what Claire wants to ask us.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season? It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it?
I wasn't backing down on the final lap. What were you expecting?
Appreciate your time.
I saw the slight opportunity and I tried to take it. Admittedly, I thought Ricciardo would struggle more, but once Albon managed to get past him, I was always going to try and go for the move. You can see the rivalry after the race has stayed pretty much the same. Norris did gain a bit in qualifying, so it's getting very close with 2 races to go. Both going to be on power circuits as well. Monza and Spa. Spa coming up first. Team acclaim. Nick's got himself up to level 7 on the drivers, so the team goes up to level 12. And obviously we hit all of our sponsorship bonuses as well, earning ourselves a cool $687,000 because I am running a bit short on money and don't know what Nick did to his car, but it's weird for me to be the one getting no damage, so we can improve some of the facilities maybe with that money next time around, because I feel as though next season there'll be some regulation changes. There always is on MyTeam, so certain parts of the car it won't be worth developing anymore. We'll have to see how we do. That is pretty much it though for this video. We've got the summer break now on the F1 game before the final 9 races of the season, when all the teams will be bringing some big upgrades, I'm sure, for the next 2 races. As I said, really fast circuits, really historic circuits. Round 15 will be at Monza, but next time out,
I think we've got room for some more investment.
Next time out, it is going to be the Belgian Grand Prix, and as you can see, we've got some sponsors that we need to renew as well, so probably end up staying with the same ones, ready for next season, and ready for the rest of this season. But thank you everyone so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time for the Belgian Grand Prix.